So it's really great to be here. And I flew in last night, and I came partly because I've always wanted to come to Iowa, and I've heard it's a really great place to be. I'd like to begin by thanking Karen and Manuel and all the team. Let's give them a fantastic round of applause. Let's all stand up. Let's all stand up and give them a fantastic... Let's everyone stand up. So sit down, please. And so I also founded Action for Happiness with Richard Layard, and I'm the president of IPEN. If you know what IPEN is, it's the International Positive Education body that links everything together. So we're going to do some exercises, and we'll begin with one here. So I was talking at the University of Oxford a short while ago to undergraduates, postgraduates, phenomenally bright about happiness and what happiness was. And about halfway through, they were kind of arguing in their heads against everything and what every single word meant and whether every single bit of data was correct. And I just felt, you know what? I said to them, I'm going to make you happier, all of you, in the next 30 seconds. And how many of you think that I can really do that? Because they're so bright, and they were thinking so much, they just couldn't stop thinking. They were born thinking, they were thinking in their womb, and they came out, and the first thing they started talking about was the theory of relativity to their amazing mum, these people, and I got them to do this. I got them, and you're going to do it. And if you're on the ground, you can do it with somebody on the ground. You are going to just turn to the person on your left and your right and give them a big hug. And the other way. And okay, that's enough. That's it. Hey. Get off him. I am talking today, the whole talk is about eros and agape and about thanatos. And it's about how we can all be part of the flow of love and the flow of energy, positive, loving life force and energy, and how we can be ourselves, stop being engines of thanatos, of death, decay, hatred, gossip, negative emotion, fear. Does anybody work in an office or in anything with anybody like that? Okay, it's always other people, isn't it? And because you actually were selected to come here because you are emblems of thanatos. You were recommended by people you work with as, no, seriously, we can become ourselves flow engines where we let love and joy and happiness flow through us. So at schools, and yeah, I have, sure, I've run schools and universities, the only person in Britain who has run both high schools and universities, that this was my besetting question. Is it possible, and we heard this said so brilliantly from the speeches this morning, is it possible to have really successful universities, schools, companies that meet all the KPIs, all the quantitative data, but are also fundamentally good, honest places, full of integrity, full of love, full of compassion, full of mutual support? And the answer is yes, and yet, the world over, we are driven, as again we've just been hearing, and this is why education is so important, because if we get the schools and the universities right, the lessons for the whole of the rest of the life will be learnt. We can have, it's not either getting the results or having happy places of work, happy educational institutions, it's both. And I want to just focus particularly today, as the talk says, about happiness at schools and universities because they are often so barren of love and joy and celebration. And there is so much fear and so much competition about getting this or that grade and getting your classes and groups up to this or that standard, and you can do both. You can help people nurture to become good people. And many of you, did anyone here go to a school or a university? Hands up if you did. Well, that's amazing. I've never met a group like that before. And you know, and you're all too young to have children. But when that happens, you will, you know, even if you're not in schools at the moment, you will be able to have a purchase. And if parents get this, or if you get it with your nephews and nieces or friends' children, we can fundamentally change the whole way that we organize our schools and universities. So let's just begin with a quick closing the eyes. This is how I begin meetings at schools and universities. Just close your eyes and inhale to the count of 3. Even Richard Layard, who doesn't love doing this. Richard, I'm watching you. And exhale to the count of 5. 3, 4, 5. And inhaling through the nostrils. Feel that coming in. 1, 2, 3. Out. 1, 2, 3. Feel it coming out the air through the nostrils and into the count of 3. Your heart rate's coming down, your blood pressure's coming down, your thought patterns are calming. Exhale to the count of 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can carry on breathing if you want, even though I'm not giving you the numbers. I want you just to, with your eyes closed, I want you just to deeply accept yourself, including all the techie people, all the helpers, all the team. Just see yourself there, including the things you're afraid about, don't like about yourself, find it hard to be honest about. And come up to that person and put your arms around them. Deeply acknowledge and love all the things about yourself that are difficult. Because we'll never have great schools and great universities as long as it's always the other people. Great societies as long as it's always the other people who get it wrong. We begin with ourselves. Just embrace yourself. And I'm just going to, I've got a lot of, I'm going to show you now a power pack, lots of data, lots of figures, lots of academics who you have never heard of, let alone can't pronounce their names, lots of series that are going to make you feeling deeply inadequate. Because as a speaker, I love to make my audiences feel inadequate because that makes me feel better as a speaker. And if you hit people with data, they're only just beginning to understand when the next slide happens. So I'm just going to give you a quick, I'm going to have some music behind here, and I want you, as you see all of these slides, I want you to become what you're looking at. Okay. I want you to become a strawberry. I want you to be a strawberry. All right, I want you to be strawberry through and through. And the next, a pineapple. You're now a pineapple. What does that feel like to be in the essence of pineapple? You are dripping pineapple perspiration. And blueberries, all right? You are now small and frankly very, very blue. You are truly bluely through. And now you're going to become a banana, a sliced banana. So no connotations there. Imagine you are deeply a banana. Everything about you is banana. You taste, you smell of banana, and boy, do bananas smell. I think we're never really totally honest about it. I mean, have you ever told a banana, frankly, actually, you smell a bit? And then on to an orange. I just feel how different that is to feel. Can you feel that orangeness as the music's rising? Just orangeness is pervading every little bit. It's coming up through the backbone, through the vertebrae, orangeness, and it's in your mouth. Feel an orange in your mouth. Taste it. Can you just start chewing it, please? Chewing it. Chew it, please. Chew it. You look really odd, by the way, when you're doing that. And now we're on to grapes, all right? Just feel the grapiness. I mean, you know what it's like being a grape, don't you? I mean, you probably spent a lot of time thinking that this is your moment. And now we're on to apples. Now, being an apple, just get really, really into it. You are imagining you're an apple. You're on a tree. It's a wonderful day in Iowa. The tree is just there in the wind. It's just outdoors in Iowa. And the tree is winging around, and you are an apple. And 3 more to go. You are now a mango. Has anybody here wanted to be a mango, particularly? Hands up, anyone who's wanted to be a mango. Yeah, they particularly want to be. No. I think this is really weird. And now feel. I want you to feel what it's like to be a cherry. Cherry. Can someone just give a sense? Someone from the audience. What's it like to be a cherry? One word. It's what? Party. Right. Okay. Have a cherry party. Why not? And finally, a peach. And just, okay. And what I'm going to do now is we're just going to go back here and we're going to apply the 10 steps of action for happiness, the 10 keys for living. And I'm saying that every single school, every single university, every single place of work, every coaching clinic, every neighborhood would be much better. And we're going to associate the fruit with one of these 10 attributes because they're all incredibly linked, all right? So the first one is right, strawberries are about giving. Now, next time, and this is what's going to come up in your mind, it's going to be, because look, it doesn't matter knowing this stuff. What matters is doing this stuff and being this stuff. So the 10 keys to become happier, have happier societies, happier living, happier human beings, happier relationships, is applying this knowledge, this evidence-based knowledge. And giving is very associated with strawberries. You probably know, you can't think of a strawberry without wanting to give. And that wonderful talk on hospitality, and you can see all the benefits. Giving, if you want to, as we just heard, if you want to feel good, give, do good. And if you want to feel lousy, be nasty and mean, take away from other people. So we're going to have a test at the end, so you better remember all these. Strawberries are giving. Right. Excellent. Don't show off and shout out. Next. R is in great dream. G is for giving. R is, in my own life, it's about relating. The biggest happiness in my own life comes from relating to other people and having friends. I don't have many, so it's at relating. This for all of us makes us happy. Relating well, relations with our family, relations with our friends, relationships with colleagues, and pineapple helps us to think about relating, because pineapple is neither a pine nor it's an apple. And yet, when you bring them together, you get something really beautiful. Okay, so you've got that, and this is really relating constructively. It isn't a mushroom, is it? When you get them together, it's something really gorgeous. And so, next one is about exercising. We're going to do an exercise at the end. You're all going to be doing something. What do you think you're going to be doing at the end? Well, that's just what I told you, but what kind of exercise are we going to be doing? We're going to be dancing. We are going to be dancing together at the end. And I'll just tell you a quick story about this. I made up a song that I was asked to sing, and some American singer saw it. He was just flicking through YouTube and saw it and did a cover version of it, and he's made millions. But I don't mind, because I think strawberries and giving, and that's cool with me, even if he's made many millions and his whole name on the back of it. So we're going to be doing now with the blueberries. Blueberries, we think about exercising. And just out of interest, how many of you do think, seriously, that you could get more exercise each day? Okay. So whatever it is that you do, I'm going to be walking back to my hotel later, which is going to take me 1 hour, 5.5 minutes. Whatever it is that you do or can do, one of the things I've started, anybody have walking meetings here? Okay, so have you noticed, I noticed this with our children, that often the best conversations I have is when I'm driving or when they're driving. Although it's a little bit anxious when they're driving, but even more anxious when I'm driving. So, and that's partly because, why is that you have good conversations when you're driving? Because you're both looking in the same direction. You're not looking at each other. There's something about it. And when you're walking, unless you're walking straight head on into each other and hitting each other, if you're walking side by side like most people do, it's healthy. It just gets positive energy. You have really good meetings. So I start my week on Monday morning with a walk with my deputy for an hour, and we get through much more work than we ever did before, and we feel great. It sets us up really well for the day. Whatever it is that you do on exercise, you could do more of it, and it will make you happier. And I just think, because we're all interested here, and we love happiness, and we love coming to fantastic, moving, spiritual, sacred events like this, the more that we can walk the talk, or run the talk, or cycle the talk, the better. Because people look at us. I love that exercise. I think I was the only one who actually did it right. Maybe not. It's what we do, isn't it? It's what we do, not what we say. So, next one is, that stands for awareness. Because banana makes us think of awareness. Because bananas are very good at raising our consciousness. Have you heard that before? So whenever you think about, there's a study coming out in Idaho, the most academic state of all, about bananas and consciousness. So the more aware we can be. I'm amazed by highly intelligent people. Intelligence, we don't understand what education is. What does education mean? What does the word education mean? Not grow, it means you lead out. You lead, it's the two words, it's Ducare and X. You're leading out from what's inside. And for many highly intelligent people, much of their human intelligence, including the intelligence to know how to live, has remained inside them. They shouldn't really be professors. What is more valuable to be able to lead a really happy, meaningful, productive, useful life, or to be the most brilliant professor on earth reading books that no one reads and which are probably wrong and will be rewritten in 5 years' time? We've got to really think what it means to be intelligent and to be aware where you are moment by moment. There's joy and glory in being aware of where you are. And in this beautiful campus here, in this beautiful city, awareness. Take time just to be aware. And then oranges are all about trying out, because oranges are associated with trying out because it's about tanginess and it's about zest. And if we just always go back to the same places on holiday, we always see the same people, we don't invite those strangers in or invite friends to bring strangers in. If we're always sitting with the same people at lunch or colleagues, or do you find you have the same conversation sometimes with people? Try out, break yourself. Who is it? Who here loves singing? Okay, and who thinks they sing enough? Who here loves to dance? Yeah, that's interesting. I couldn't see a single bloke with their hand up, probably because you've been told by partners that you can't dance. We can all do these things. Get back. What do you think now? Just think. What do you most love in life that you no longer do? What did you used to do that you no longer do? Give me an example here. Yes. What? Cook. Running. What? Horseback riding. Do it now. Bring your horse. Come up and down. Let's see it. And be cooking at the same time on top of it. And sort of walking as well on top of the horse. Wow. Flipping a pancake. Fantastic. Now, then I think you really have got this art of this thing. And don't put yourself down, because that's what we do all the time. We think we can't do it. So the education system is like this. The education system says, of this third over here, you are really bright. You are brilliant. You're going to have fantastic lives. Everybody in the middle, well, you're pretty average. You're really average, and just fess up, admit it. You know deep down you're average. And you lot over here, you are thick. You are stupid. You are, how dare you come into our schools and take the time of teachers. You're pathetic. And if you hear that enough, and we do it enough to ourselves, you become pathetic. You become average. And you realize that being intelligent's pretty meaningless. Don't do that to ourselves. But by the way, you in the middle really are average. The rest it was all a joke. And coming through now, grapes obviously mean having a direction in our life. We need to have a direction in our life when we get our lives in order, when we're in charge of our lives. We take the time. So often people say they don't have time. Well, if you aware of what you're doing, if you calm down, slow down, you will live smarter lives. Working hard is not necessary. The really able people, the really intelligent people, with the form of intelligence that matters, which is not intellectual intelligence as much as the intelligence to know how to live. They're very smart with what they do. They're smart with their energy. And they have a real direction over their lives. And that's exactly what grapes do. I mean, you look at the grapes there, and every one of those grapes knows what they're doing. They know. I mean, look. I mean, the green ones have chosen to be green. It's obvious if you think about it. And then resilience. Apples symbolize resilience because we need that resilience when it's really sharp and tangy and it's churned up your stomach and it's made a lot of acid. And resilience, I mean, just think about our lives. Getting in somewhere late and catastrophizing your life. Don't do that to yourself. Every time something is difficult in your life and you catastrophize it, you say this is terrible, you beat yourself up, the next time it happens, it will be harder. But every time something bad happens in your life and you just accept it and you say, okay, it's not great, I'm sad about this, but I'm going to get through. Every time you show resilience, the next time will be easier. And then, obviously, mangoes stand for emotions, because mangoes, I don't know whether you studied this when you were at school, but mangoes are very emotional fruits. Mangoes have a whole range every day in a mango's life. I mean, they can be joyful or they can be really pissed off. I mean, mangoes, you've got to hand it to mangoes. Let's have a round of applause for mangoes because of the hardship. So mangoes are about just your emotions and trying to maximize, as is happening there when you see all the little bits there. They are just trying to maximize their positive emotions and go with the positive emotions. Okay, and two more to go. Obviously, cherries are about acceptance. And acceptance of yourself, as we did in that mindfulness exercise very briefly, where you see everything that you're not. And the nasty people are often, it's their Jungian shadow, they're not accepting themselves fully on. Every time somebody powerful shouts you out, is really horrible to you, somebody, a police officer, just go up and say, I feel for you. Give them a hug and say, would you like a mango? It works wonders. And cherries are very accepting fruits. They just have acceptance really all the way through. You just look at one of those bits of cherry and just think, I feel accepted by you. And the reason you do is because they've accepted themselves. And finally, of all, meaning. And for me, the top two of the 10 steps are always relationships and meaning. And whatever it is in life that you have a religious faith or any other, but a sense as we were hearing there with the Eskimos. There wasn't the Eskimos, it was the Koreans, the 4 point. The Sorrow saying, so when Sorrow says, most men and women lead lives of quiet desperation and go to their grave with their song still inside them. Most men and women lead lives of quiet desperation and go to their grave with their song still inside them. All of us find our meaning, our unique meaning. Okay? And peaches symbolize that. So we're just going to go very quickly back here, and you're going to shout it out. Can you get on your feet, please, now? And let's hear it. For what do we think of? What do they have? What? Relating. Thank you. Blueberries are all about exercising. Bananas are about what? Awareness. Oranges are about trying out new things. Grapes are about having in my life. Apples are about having resilience. Mangoes are all about accepting. Cherries are all about accepting. And peaches are about having a deep meaning. Now look, I'm just going to finish off with this guy who listened to my version. I mean, I just made it up. This song here, you're going to see it now. And it was played when I finished. I left a high school to come to a university. The kids produced it all and made me do it. We're going to sing and dance to it. It lasts 3 minutes 25, which is great because I've got 3 minutes 25 left on the clock. Let's have it very, very loud. And you know, I want you to know just finally, I don't mind this guy at all. You know, I'm really proud for him. Good luck to you, mate. That's what I think when he took my song and made something of it. Let's have it now.
May seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air like I don't care, baby, by the way. Come on. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you know that that's what you want to do. You can buy news talking this and that. Yeah. Give me all you got and don't hold it back. Yeah. I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. Yeah. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel that that's what you want to do. Bring me down. Can nothing bring me down. My level's too high. Bring me down. Can nothing bring me down. I said, let me know now. Bring me down. Can nothing bring me down. My level's too high. Bring me down. Can nothing bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap clap along if you feel that that's what you want to do. Come on.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is.
Thanks, everybody.